Hey guys, welcome back to the Kayak Cave. It's Jody Queen Fishing. Today I'm going to cover a little problem that I had last tournament. My unit wasn't getting any power. I plugged my battery in, I couldn't get my lights to come on or anything like that. Now, I had to figure out what was wrong with it. And now, if your unit is under warranty, I don't recommend that you take it apart. You need to contact Power Pro themselves and ask them what steps you need to follow. But I've had this unit for a long time. I spent a lot of time on the back of my kayak, going down bumpy roads and rough terrain. So I know that it had been shaken up a lot. So I'm going to show you what I did to find out what was wrong with it and what the problem was and how you can avoid it. And let's get started. Okay, first of all, you're going to need a 5/32. I use a T-handle Allen wrench, and there's two screws here, Allen head, in the side of this case. This case just latches on and basically gives us its a mount for your battery. So you just take these screws out, like so. Like that. And you take this off the side and move it forward. That's what it looks like. There's two screws. This will expose the actual case. And as you see here, there's a little lip that comes out and holds your case on. You just kind of, there it is. Okay, and once you pop that out, the top lifts off really easy. If you turn it this way, you see your power connections that go to your motor that sits inside, and you have this motherboard. Now the motherboard, actually, if you can look here, it sits on these prongs that run completely through this casing. And as you can see, there are connectors on the head of this motherboard where those prongs run into. Now what happens is, all that vibration that I had going down, rough roads and stuff, caused this motherboard right here to pop off of those prongs, and it wasn't getting a good connection and sending power to the unit. So all you have to do is line these back up. You see how the motherboard sits on there. Try not to touch any of this right here on the motherboard itself. I try to keep it clean. And you can press down just to make sure that you're getting good contact, which I wasn't, and make sure that the board is secured. Now when you have this board right, there'll be a little gap here because when you go to put it back on, it goes on the inside of the housing here. So you can see how that is. Now I have a can of compressed air. If there's any dust or anything like that in it, you can blow it out. And once that motherboard is seated on there correctly, you can start to reassemble it. Now, if you get this back together and that's not your problem and you're still not getting power, I don't recommend that you completely tear this down. Just call your Power Pro representative, your dealer, or the company themselves, and they will give you the steps that you need to take in order to fix your problem. But this is a simple way to check if you're not getting power to your unit, even though you have a good battery. And there's some steps you can take, use someone else's battery on your unit to make sure that it's not just your battery that's not supplying the power. But you want to make sure that when you get this on, I'll show you here, this too. This right here, that lip, it needs to go down. Pop it down good so that it won't come off. Then you just put this back on. It's very, very simple to do, easy to do, and it might, keep you from having to send it in and doing without your power pole during a tournament. But you get these screws tightened back down. And I had no power at all, and it was windy, and I really needed my power pole. And if I'd have known then what I know now, this is so simple, I could have done it at the back of my truck with very few tools. So you want to get these tightened down. You don't really have to tighten these down. You don't have to torque them. You just need to get them snug. That's all you need to do, just get them snug. Just a little ways past hand tight. Alright, then you have your unit is back together. You can check it, you just take your battery. Ah, see, there's my light already. And there you go. So check that out before you get too excited and send it off or send it back. It's a simple procedure, like I say, and hopefully something I've showed you here today will help you. Now, something else I like to do is to keep these prongs clean. You can take a little bit of WD-40 and spray these down good. And you can take a small tool or something like this is what I use. And I just use I don't like using Q-tips because they tend to leave hairs and stuff in there. But these light rags here, these shop towels and stuff, they work really good for cleaning stuff like that. And you just want to get it in there and clean it real good. Put our battery back in, and we're ready to go. Check our battery. Well, that's about it. Please hit the like and subscribe button on my channel there. I appreciate you guys following along with me and I'll try to keep the content coming for you. And like I say, hopefully this will help you out in some way. Don't panic if you can't get your light to come on when you put the power to it. Just like I say, if you're like me, I leave mine on my boat a lot and it gets rattled around a lot. Just take it apart, check that motherboard, make sure it's getting good connection, make sure the wires from the motors are getting good connections, and maybe that'll save you some heartache.